Hey, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to safely remove polygel from your natural nails at home. So the first thing you want to do if you have polygel extensions is to use some nail clippers and trim off as much of the length as you can without trimming your natural nail if you're worried about preserving your natural nail length. And then I'm going to go in with my nail drill. This is just a file I got from Amazon. I'll put the exact one in the description below. But if you don't have that, you can hand file. It's going to take a little more time, but you can totally do it. Just make sure you use a nail file that is a little bit of a lower grit, so it's a little more coarse, and that's going to help get the bulk of the gel off. Like I said, I am using an e-file to do this, and I started with this bit. It's like a cylinder bit. Be extra careful when doing this. I'm still getting used to using an electric drill, but I mainly just used this bit to get the bulk of the polygel off. So I went really slow, filed off the layer slowly to make sure I wasn't getting my natural nail. And I just took that down the length of my nail, and when I turned my nail sideways, I could kind of see the profile of where the polygel was still built up. And I just tried to get the bulk of that off. That's going to help soaking time tremendously. Like I said, be very careful not to go down to the natural nail because that's where damage is going to come in. Next, I'm going to switch out to a bit that's designed to go around the cuticle. I don't know the technical terms or names of these, but I will put the exact set that I'm using in the description. And I'm using a really low speed, by the way, for all of this. And I just took that bit around my cuticle to loosen any of that gel that might be around that. And then I'm going to do the rest of this by hand. I'm just going to take a regular old file. I don't know the grit of this one, but I hand filed the rest of the polygel off as much as I could until I was super close to my natural nails. And next I'm going to soak what's left with acetone and a cotton ball. And you can use these little gel clips if you have that. If you don't have that, you can use foil and wrap the acetone soaked cotton ball with some foil to help heat that up and insulate it and make the reaction quicker. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to mention, if you're doing this at home, put some oil on your skin before you put the acetone soaked cotton balls on. That's going to help the acetone not burn your skin as much, and it's just a little bit more pleasant of an experience, to be honest. So I soaked those for 15 minutes, I think here, and then I took it off to check it, and I scraped any of the gel that was starting to peel up off. Do not pry this off. Actually, in this video, I did pry some of it off, and I did get a little bit of damage at this step because I forced the gel off. If it does not come off easily, soak it. Soak it for 10 more minutes, soak it for 15, 20 if you have to. The longer you soak it, the looser it's going to get, and the easier it's going to be to push off with a cuticle pusher. I'm also using a metal cuticle pusher here, which isn't very soft on the natural nail, so use a wooden stick if you have that, or you could even use your fingernail to gently pry that off, but just be mindful at this step to avoid damaging your natural nails. So as you can see, after the first 15 minutes, I did have to re-soak a couple of the nails that the gel did not come off easily with. I think it ended up being like 30 minutes or so of soaking the nails entirely, but by then, most of the gel did easily push off. Once the polygel is all off, I do like to use a soft grit buffing block just to smooth out the surface of my nail. And if you're like me and you got a little crazy and accidentally jabbed the cuticle pusher into your nail, it smooths the surface out and makes that a little less apparent. Then after that, I'll just go ahead and file my nails, the shape of my nails like I normally would, just to groom them, shape them up, make them look nicer. And then after that, I will apply a strengthening base coat. And then I went in with my cuticle oil. And I have several cuticle oils that I like. I really like this one by LONDONTOWN LAKUR. Loud makes a really good cuticle oil, but if you don't have that, coconut oil is tried and true, and it's easy to come by. And that's it. So hopefully that helped. Let me know in the comments if you have any more additional questions, or if you're more versed in taking off polygel than I am and you have some tips for me. Also let me know in the comments. It's always appreciated. As always, thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time.